what does that say?
Darcy from a classic novel.
Not from Smashing Pumpkins?
Darcy Huffman. And that's Birthing Pod v. Miracles? Is it USA Miracles?
This looks like Miracles. I love it. I already love it. I see Tamio in the deck. I love Tamio.
So we've got Miracles versus Birthing Pod. The Birthing Pod is a 4-color pod. Ink Shredder pod, if you will.
You and your obscure reference to Ink Shredder Nephilim. All right, Darcy Huffman leads with a Birds of Paradise. Eric just with the Plains passes back. Darcy has a turn 2 Borderland Ranger. Resolves, gets a Forest. Eric checks for a Miracle. Doesn't find one. Finds an island, or at least played one. Passes back.
So is this United States Miracles or French Miracles?
Good question. I don't know. It's Neapolitan Miracles.
Is it red, white, and blue, or blue, white, and red? I don't know. Visionary from Darcy.
And Eric playing old school Think Twice. I like it. Time Spiral block. And is that a Think Twice in response to your Elvish Visionary, I believe? Or no, I'm sorry. He played Think Twice and pointed at the Avacyn's Pilgrim. That was confusing.
That's a real Think Twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the old school.
Yeah.
So there is an Entreat the Angels in Eric's hand, not of use at this point in the game.
Mr. Darcy attacks with extreme prejudice here.
Every single guy that has power.
Thinking again, Eric Campbell. He needs a day, I think.
He has...
Oh, he's not under very much pressure. It's only a little bit here and there. He does not need a day yet.
It would be nice to wipe the board with one spell, but...
A pair of Gideons hanging out, waiting. And Darcy's like, you know what? How about we just burn your face? So fireball you with this miraculous bonfire.
It appears to be.
Okay, he says. Take 4 and then take 4 more. Yep. Take 4 more, down to 6.
This is not looking good for Eric. I mean, you're right, he wasn't under a ton of pressure, but it's enough to get him down to 6 at this point with the addition of a bonfire. And he draws.
We're going to see Gideon show up though now.
Yeah, so
Gideon, attack Gideon. Now, this just said gain at least 8 life, maybe more. Probably more.
Depends on what sort of burn spells Darcy may be able to come up with. Because if he can... Okay, so we've got...
Metamorph on Borderland Ranger. Or is it on birds? No, it can't be on birds, can it? It's on Borderland Ranger. Blue from the bird is what he was pointing to there.
Yeah, not taking any damage from the Metamorph.
At this point, I almost want the Visionary. Even if it's, you know, 1 less power. Well, a random card over a land, I think I would like. To be fair, though, that is 6 damage on the table, so once the Gideon goes away, he can kill then. Okay, in for 4 on Gideon. And Gideon untaps, or gets to the untap, so we're talking about a Gideon now for at least 10 life.
So a Ponder from Eric. I believe he just top decked Bonfire with no access to red mana.
Pondering to look for it. Is not there. Is some more mana. Shuffles it away.
Shuffle with that Ponder there. And Eric, what I know is in Eric's hand is an additional Gideon, I believe a Bonfire, an Entreat the Angels, a Temporal Mastery. There's a Temporal Mastery and Manipulation. I always get them mixed up.
And the cut from Mr. Darcy.
Mastery. I was right.
See an Entreat.
Now another very interesting card in Eric's list, Staff of Nin.
Awesome.
Trent Reznor's mic stand.
Yes, that's nice. And Gideon says, attack me. And we see a land, Desolate Lighthouse. Giving up the ghost, Mr. Darcy now knows there's red in that there deck.
He does.
Another land, or rather the land that was fetched with the Metamorph. Metamorph on Borderland Ranger.
What is that foil I keep seeing in Eric's hand? I can't quite make it out.
I cannot tell yet.
Yeah, it may be, is it possible? I don't think it's the staff, it's too light colored.
6 damage to kill the Gideon, is that going to work? And the bird has to attack as well. Okay, so Gideon gained 10 life there. A fair amount.
Yeah, that's something.
Birthing pod, ouch.
Jeez. Oh, he's got double entreat.
Borderland Ranger turns into perhaps a Huntmaster? Let's see, perhaps Solemn Simulacrum? Perhaps Restoration Angel?
What does he want? I would think it may be the staff, by the way. I'm trying to figure out what card that is in Eric's hand.
Angel. I think the Angel is going to hit the Metamorph, is going to turn into a Angel, is going to hit the Visionary. At least that's what I would do.
Metamorph could also just become a birthing pod.
Blink. He
And
turns
it
into a
does.
pod. Very good call. He can still go then.
He can. He can go ahead and pod
Wow.
up
Is he
to
going to turn that into a
5.
slime? Turn the Angel into a slime? Or turn the Angel into something else? A Thragtusk, perhaps?
He doesn't really need the life gain. Thragtusk.
Well, the Thragtusk is
it does
insurance.
more than life gain, for sure, yeah. This is another one of those lists that seem to be copied poorly, and it's tough to read, but I think Thragtusk...
And he says go. Just leaves it as is.
Yeah, I'm looking for other 5s in here.
Gideon. Also
number
reads
2.
gain 8.
Yeah, there's actually only one 5... Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I looked
wow.
under there. Okay, so...
That means I think that Eric is dead. Angel becomes Zealous Conscripts.
Yeah, that's what it is. I got down to the end of the creatures and saw Planeswalkers and didn't realize he listed his creatures under the Planeswalkers slot. So.
Goodbye, Angel. Hello, human.
Yeah, there it is. Steal your Gideon, kill you. That's a real shame. I would have liked to seen Eric's deck actually do something.
An evil Ricky Hayashi walks by.
Yeah, scoop him up. No, I mean, no red mana. Just, wow. That was just an unfortunate draw, I feel like, for Eric. Fairly good draw for Darcy. You know, nice mix of things.
Yep.
Gets the birthing pod online and really gets to go to town. See, like, I think it's an exciting deck, the Miracles deck, but he doesn't have a lot of ways to interact. Like, everything's going to resolve pre-board. He has no actual counter spells. He can Day of Judgment. You know, that's something. Terminus. I mean,
From the other side of the table, Darcy, I think, he's going to bring in a Zealous Conscripts and a Thragtusk. I don't know if he's going to bring anything else. The Thragtusk, just because it's resilient against hate, and the Zealous Conscripts because you're talking about a deck here that brings up big things, and so you might as well punish him for it. You might bring in the Bonfire as well, knowing that Angels are possible from a deck like this.
yeah, looking at Eric's board.
Eric, gosh, I mean, this is not much of a board for this matchup. His board is 3 Geist of St. Traft, 2 Talrand, 2 Jace, 2 Dissipate, 3 Celestial Purge, 3 Timely Reinforcement. And honestly, the only things that I can see being of value in my mind here is Talrand and Timely.
Yeah. I agree. I don't really feel like, I mean, The dissipates seem kind of slow. Birthing pod, once resolved, completely ignores dissipate anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you need to have the dissipate for the birthing pod. Otherwise, it's just the dissipate's pretty much a dead card. I mean, this is the third 4-color pod list we've seen, I think, today.
Yeah. 4-color pod was the second most popular deck that I saw in the examination of lists at the World Magic Cup.
So Staff of Nin.
Staff of 9-inch nails.
Yeah. Card from M13. It's a rare. Costs 6. And at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. So it's a Howling Mine for you. And you can tap it to deal a damage to target creature or player. So I think it's an interesting card. It could. It seems like it could have a reasonable impact, but also feels like if you're going to pay 6 mana for something, it just seems like not enough. Like, you're going to go, okay, what are you going to do? Like, okay, next turn I get to draw a card, and I'll do 1 to you, you know? Like, it's like the 6 mana gut shot, you know? It just seems awful. Like, unless you get to draw a card off at the next turn. But I mean, if you're behind, we saw Eric there. He had so many cards in hand that just did nothing. Right? He had double entreat. I mean, Gideon was like fog, and not even as good as a fog, considering the Zealous Conscripts just took it out of the way. And the second Gideon, anyway.
Well, I mean, the second Gideon, if it had not been for a Conscripts, would have saved a lot of life, bought a lot of time. But that first one, I mean, it was a double fog, which he needed to do, unfortunately.
So, for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco, here with Adrian Sullivan in the booth.
Hello, hello.
Coming to you live from the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Denver, Colorado. We're in round 6 of 9, watching Eric Campbell and his blue-white-red Miracles deck take on Darcy Huffman and his 4-color pod deck. Darcy up a game here. Eric really just couldn't get a hold on that game. Basically just cast a couple of Think Twices, maybe a Ponder, a couple of Gideons, and just couldn't get into the game. Zealous Conscripts locked the victory for Darcy in game 1. We'll see if Eric can put something together game 2. Now, game 1, he had no access to red mana. He only has, I believe, 3 red sources. He's got a mountain and 2 sulfur falls. He does have 2 evolving wilds, which you can count as a red source, theoretically. I'm sorry, he has 3 clifftop retreat. I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
It still seems a very minor touch into that red. I don't know. I like Bonfire to touch for it, but I don't know if it's worth it, honestly.
He does only have 2 copies of Bonfire, no other red spells in the deck. He does have 2 Desolate Lighthouse to make use of the red mana, but that's obviously, it's not essential. Lighthouse still taps for mana, even if you don't have red.
You know, I'm kind of curious if Eric Campbell's staff, here, the Staff of Nin, if that's like the secret to making this deck work.
Yeah, just having that extra draw just for the Miracles.
Yeah.
Like,
turn 1, mana V, mana. You see a Visionary, and then I attack for 1.
Yep, Avacyn's Pilgrim. Greg Staples artwork. Greg Staples is one of my favorite Magic artists. Love that artwork for that F&M Avacyn's Pilgrim.
4 mana here for Darcy.
Attacks with the Visionary. And says go. Eric looks at the top. Not a miracle, just to think twice. Plays a Glacial Fortress. Plays Day of Judgment. Day of Judgment for Elvish Visionary and Avacyn's Pilgrim. That is respect. Maybe a little too much respect. I mean, are you really worried that much about those 2 cards? Or are you just feeling like by the time I mean, like, just buy as much time as I can. It's something, you know.
Main phase, while Eric is tapped out, Mr. Darcy drops a Restoration Angel, and we see a miraculous entreat for 2 angels here
So
from Eric Campbell.
really cheap Broodmate Dragon. And Angel. Entreat. So he says, you have an angel, I have 2.
No land, though, for Eric.
I imagine he may have, yeah, he was probably planning on using Think Twice there, but the opportunity to entreat the angels, very appealing. And I'm fine with that. So Darcy now passes back, no attack.
Wall of Angel holding off everything.
Yeah, and a ponder from Eric. Does he find a land? He does, and an entreat. It was the second one. I know he found at least 1 land. He's thinking, look.
He's thinking about more angels.
Yeah.
I want to do more angels, but I don't know if I can keep it. Okay, I'll keep it.
I think he's going to do that next turn. I think he's going to go ahead and, if he plays a land, swings
Both angels
in
come
for
on
2.
in. Let's race.
All right, so.
Oh boy, I think he thinks something's going to happen that's not going to happen. Angel says non-angel. There we go. I think he thought he was going to block Save his Angel.
Right.
That
Yeah.
does not work.
No.
Restoration Angel says non-angel. Otherwise, we would have seen that Restoration Angel and then a double block. Worm Coil Engine.
So Worm Coil Engine, kind of threatening. I mean, that's a lot of life gain if Eric doesn't have a way to deal with it.
Worm Coil Engine is in from the sideboard. I think this fits in the Thragtusk style of, this is a card that's hard to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we do know Eric has access to Terminus. Nice way to deal with a Worm Coil Engine.
Desolate Lighthouse. In the air with 1 angel for 4.
Eric thinking about a Gideon here. Guess he
Casts Terminus.
Wow, why not attack with both angels then? You know?
After the fact, realizing what he wants to do.
Yeah, it must have been.
He was going to cast a Gideon, it looked like, and then he realized it wasn't going to be very good. Oh, Birthing Pod. And go.
And he knows the entreat's there. Set that right up.
Entreat for 4.
Darcy at 12, gonna have to find an answer, but quick.
Mr. Darcy in real trouble here.
Are we gonna see Angels take down game 2 here for Eric Campbell? I hope so, because I want to watch this matchup some more. All right, I'm gonna play a Bird of Paradise. Am I gonna get an opportunity to pod up?
A bird can become a visionary or an image.
Image can become an angel.
Image can become an angel, but it's not enough.
No, it's not. Not enough at all. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana tapped here. And a Zealous Conscripts.
Take
Steal
an
an
angel. Attack. And I think we're going to see this angel turn into a bird.
Number 6, please report back to Cyclex. $10 draft, number 6.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's going to pod the conscripts.
Wow, I expected the angel to go away. 6 mana, what you going to do? I think this is... Frost Titan? You need something. You needed to sack that angel, I think. You need life gain now. An answer.
You're trying to... Okay,
That's
so
not it. You're dead.
So
You're dead.
he's gonna
going to give back that angel and then
He's
die.
going to chump block with a bird and then die. Yeah, I'm not sure what he...
I think he just didn't think it through.
Yeah, because if he pods the angel away into a bird, not only does it deal with one angel because he's sacrificing, it doesn't have to give it back, he has another blocker. So he takes 4 and chumps with 2 birds.
Die?
There it is, okay.
On to game 3. Now you see it again, the relief of tension handshake. That was a tense game. Oh, good game. Shake the hand.
Yeah,
we're still playing. Let's go again.
Yeah. So Eric Campbell evens it up versus Darcy Huffman here in round 6 of 9 at the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Denver, Colorado. I'm really glad that game went a little better for Eric. I'd like to see more magic that's more like that, some interaction. I do want to see a game 3 between these two guys. I've been playing with Miracles and Legacy, and it's just one of the most fun things to do, to set up an entreat and then pass the turn, and then it's like end of turn, flip my top and flip entreat, and so it's like all the angels have haste.
It's like a
it's
really
the best.
cool White Sun Zenith variant.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know, like I've been playing Legacy for about 2 years, and I think this is my favorite deck I've ever played.
Are you playing Counterbalance?
Yeah, I get to play. When I started playing Legacy, the deck I had my eye on
I
to
don't
play.
like anymore, Joey.
It's all right.
Countertop.
The deck
Come on.
that was on my radar as the deck I wanted to play was Counterbalance, but I was also feeling like, hey, I'm still trying to get into this format. I want to learn. I'd rather learn with a less complicated deck.
Right.
So I was sticking with like Bug Control. That's what I was playing like at the time. And then I just never really got around to playing Counterbalance. Like I was playing like Stoneblade and stuff, and I played Reanimator, played Elves a little bit, and then when Miracles came out, I'm like, okay, that works really well with Sensei's Divining Top. I think I want to play Counterbalance Top now. So Counterbalance Top, obviously like Reed Duke putting on a show, putting on a clinic with that deck in DC, and with a couple of land taxes in the main. So I've been playing around with that exact list, and it is the most fun I've had playing Legacy, I think. Not quite sure.
I guess I have to say, wow, do I dislike Countertop. It's funny because I like Stasis.
Yeah, I don't really get that. Not that I dislike Stasis, but I don't get the...
Stasis plays more quickly.
That's funny, yeah. I guess it depends, but the thing with Countertop in Legacy is you set up the counter top lock, and you're still setting up, you still have Miracles that are live. So you're like counter your stuff, and then you go end of your turn and treat, kill you in one swing. So it's not typical Countertop where it's so grindy. It can be, obviously, if you don't get the entreat the angels, but you have a lot of opportunity to just go, oh look, and entreat the angels, set it up and win, one hit. And so it's I don't think it's as bad.
See, the reason I don't like Countertop as much as Stasis is that Countertop, it spends a whole lot of time doing nothing other than manipulating the library, and Stasis makes it so that no one does anything, but it happens quickly. You're like, okay, I don't do anything, you don't do anything, I don't do anything, you don't do anything, but it's turn, whereas Countertop, you're like, okay, end of your turn, let me look at some stuff, let me shuffle, let me look at some stuff, okay, untap, okay, draw, okay, let me look at some stuff, just...
I get you. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
okay, mana v mana.
Yeah.
No opening aggression from Darcy.
Eric.
I think what Darcy needs, though, is Darcy needs to hit extreme, attack with extreme prejudice is what Darcy needs.
What do you mean by that?
Get some creatures out and swing fast before it's, too late. The later this game goes, the more Eric Campbell is going to be not only set up to respond to anything Darcy does, but he could just take over with an Angels.
So Eric finds an island with the Evolving Wilds. Probably the right choice at this point. We don't know what's in his hand, but I do know he never had access to red mana in games 1 or 2. I don't think I ever saw a red source in game 2. So a ponder from Eric on turn 2 here. And there's a red source. Finally. And game 3, he finally finds his first red source. All right, sets it up the way he wants. Draws off the top. It's the red source.
What kind? What kind?
It is a clifftop retreat, so he's going to play a plains here. That way the red source comes into play untapped. And 1, 2, 3, Darcy Huffman says, Borderland Ranger. Borderland resolves. And Darcy gets an island. Does that mean he is going for a metamorph situation here? Or maybe a phantasmal image?
Or just getting his fourth color mana.
Or just getting his 4th color, yeah.
Yeah.
Setting himself up. He does have 1 Deceiver Exarch, which he could also be looking ahead to potentially casting. I know it's mostly a pod target, but maybe it's in his hand. And there's the clifftop retreat. And Eric, with tons of mana, passes back. Darcy says Birthing Pod. Birthing Pod appears to have resolved, and what are we going to see? Wouldn't it be something if Eric flashed in a
Miracle Entreat for 1 angel. Land for the turn, go.
So he didn't pod. I thought he was going to pod there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But 1 angel from Eric. Just a little kind of a Sarah Angel-esque.
I think he came in with comes into play tapped land rather than lay the land he fetched.
Yeah, I think you're right. Angel blocks Borderland Ranger. Restoration Angel comes in to blink Borderland Ranger and save it. Darcy finds a forest.
I would not mind here spending 2 life to turn the Angel of Darcy Huffman into an acidic slime.
He has 1 acidic slime main.
Kill a land.
On the board.
Stay ahead.
I bought mine yesterday for $2.10.
Goodbye, Angel.
And what are we going to get? 5 drops. He's got Acidic Slime, as you mentioned,
Go
Zealous
slime, go
Conscripts,
slime.
as we've seen, Thrag Tusk, and those are the main deck 5 drops. Got an
Boom.
additional Thrag Tusk in the board.
Goes with Thrag Tusk.
Goes with Thrag Tusk, okay. No other 5 drops on the board, so those are the choices at 5.
This will give Eric Campbell the mana to be able to cast his Gideon in hand.
He also has a Tameo, which he could use to lock down that birthing pod.
Not terrible.
He also has Day of Judgment, which will pseudo lock down the birthing pod until Darcy can add another creature to the board. I believe he's on the Day of Judgment plan. If he were on the, yeah, there it is, Day of Judgment. If he were on the Tameo plan, I think he'd have left the Angel back to protect Tameo.
That's fair.
So plays a land, passes back after a Day of Judgment. So
And there's a beast, of course, from the Thrag Tusk.
there's a lot of hand exclamations happening down there, but not quite sure. All right.
6 mana.
So with a beast and a birthing pod, Darcy Huffman taps 6 and plays Worm Coil Engine. Eric's like, that's all right. I didn't really want to cast Day of Judgment when you had the Worm Coil Engine in play anyway. All right. 6th land for Eric. Tamiyo. What is Tamiyo going to do? She's going to lock down that Worm Coil Engine. So what's the 7? Do we just go... Is there an Elish Norn? Or
There is one Elish Norn in the sideboard, or in the main deck.
In the main,
But
yeah.
did he side it out?
Right, because it doesn't seem extremely impressive. I mean, it's awesome, I guess, when you're giving your guys +2, but doesn't tend to kill things. So, yeah, this is Elish Norn. Didn't side it out. That's going to be a 5/5 Beasts and 2 5/5 tokens. And Eric's going to need a Terminus or something. He's got a Talrand in hand. He's got a Gideon. Gideon will hopefully put the brakes on things. Not quite sure what's happening here. Is this a response to the birthing pod? Is he trying to decide something? He has nothing that costs 1 mana. I can't imagine what he could respond to do. Oh, okay. Getting some tokens. Hey, I like those tokens. Good choices. Good
Which
choices.
one's your favorite?
I tend to like the lifelink one.
I like that one a lot too.
And there's Elish Norn. And Eric examining the token. That's supposed to be me. That is, those are Yo MTG Taps worm tokens. Artwork courtesy of Inkwell Looter, Josh Frankel. Did that way back, right when Worm Coil was printed. I guess it was shortly after Worm Coil was printed. And a Ponder from Eric.
Yep. Tamiyo is dead now. 5 is enough to get him.
Her.
Terminus amongst the cards. If he has an untapped land, the Terminus will work. Draws. He can just set up the Think Twice for the Terminus, which is what he has done.
Ah. Much better. Much cheaper that way.
Here they come. Think.
Bought it in. I would like to think twice about that.
I hope I stacked it correctly.
Boom.
Boom!
I love the flourish.
It'd be funny if he didn't have it there.
Yeah, it would be funny. He's like, land, wait.
Oh, look at that. He's like waving them aside. Elish Norn goes away too. Mr. Darcy here, hoping to punish Eric's pride with some sort of good play. Blade Splicer's a good start.
Seems reasonable. You have a birthing pod there. You can turn that Blade Splicer into a number of things.
We see it Think Twice, end of turn. And the Blade Splicer just sat. There's no pod activation.
Huh. Seachrome Coast, I believe, off the top for Eric. Plays Island. Does not come into play tapped.
Yeah,
I think he meant to play the Seachrome Coast and he just threw it onto the table, tapped, and it was an Island that he accidentally grabbed. Unless he just had the idea of playing something.
There's
Changed his mind,
Talrand. Plus a
and he's
Ponder.
gonna ponder and get a Drake.
And a Drake is with that.
There's a Drake. Not Dick Grayson, but Tim Drake. Ponder shows him a Temporal Mastery in the top 3. Eric at a healthy 15 right now and appears to have stabilized pretty well, and now starting to build an Air Force. Darcy plays land. And Borderland Ranger. Gets to shuffle his deck, so maybe that LS Norn comes a little closer to the top now that he's got actual 7 mana to pay for it. Of course, potting into it's fine too.
I wouldn't mind seeing a turning of the Borderland Ranger into a Phyrexian Metamorph.
Yeah, copy Talrand, deal with that. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Or Metamorph the Birthing Pod, maybe?
I like copy Talrand.
Yeah. So, Golem gets in. And we may be seeing exactly that.
Looks like Angel. He stopped on Angel at least.
Yeah, he's thinking about using Angel so he can blink the Blade Splicer, get another Golem, which is a very aggressive way to do it. I think I like the kill Talrand plan better, but he goes with Angel.
Yep.
I think the reason I like the kill Talrand plan better is you leave him with a 2/2. Like, that's a 2/2 flyer, it's not that big of a deal. This, even though you're putting a lot of pressure on the board, Eric is going to be able to just put all kinds of guys into play.
Yeah, Eric's deck is built to blunt that kind of attack.
Yeah, so he's already got access to a Think Twice. That's 2 Drakes worth right there out of 1 card. Not counting whatever he may draw off the Think Twice. We know he also has Temporal Mastery available in the top 3. At this point, it's the top card. Because I don't see it in his hand. And yeah, so he's got Temporal Mastery on top. So he's going to pass back. Now, is that 2 Think Twices in his hand?
I can't tell.
I believe he's got 2 Think Twices and a Gideon, which represents 4 Drakes. Not all at once, but he can get up to 3 Drakes here. But actually what he would probably do, Think Twice into Temporal Mastery, which he would then cast. That's 2 Drakes right there. He could also decide to... Oh, he's got Think Twice in the graveyard he can still use too. Whoop, hit the mic, sorry guys. And Think Twice shows him Temporal Mastery. So there's Drake. Well, Drake for the Think Twice. And now he's going to cast the Temporal Mastery. That's another Drake. And this is why killing Talrand was the option I would have gone with.
Yeah, things can go crazy with Talrand.
So now Eric with 2 pending turns, you know, the Temporal Mastery and his actual turn. It appears that he is going to cast... Let's see, he's got a Think Twice in hand. I believe that's another Think Twice in the yard, isn't it? So he's got, I believe, just 3 land open. May as well go ahead and flashback Think Twice, right? Or he's going to cast 1 from hand. Maybe I'm wrong about that. No, he's going to cast 1.
There.
Okay, good. That's what I meant. Why not use it? It's just fallow mana. Otherwise, you're just not using it.
Did you say fallow?
I did.
That's awesome.
I think I got that term from Flores. I think a while ago though. I haven't heard him use it in a while. So it makes another Drake with the Think Twice. Draws another card. And now we've got blockers galore. Now Darcy can still go ahead and pod away the Blade Splicer and take care of Talrand here, but he could have done it last turn.
He's got an image in hand.
Oh, there we go. Never mind.
Wow, he copies Blade Splicer.
Wow, not taking care. He does not respect the Talrand, even after seeing what it could do.
And seeing that he's okay. Blade Splicer can become Metamorph to kill Talrand.
Okay, maybe that's his plan. That's fine. I actually like that. That makes sense. So he gets another Golem out of it. It's not possible that maybe he sided out the Metamorph?
I can't imagine.
It's another Angel. I wonder if he sided it out.
Maybe he sided it out.
Thinking there's not many targets, right? Like, what am I going to copy? An Angel token? Like when you think about it, either that or my own stuff. You know what I mean? Like Metamorph. He figures why. I'm just guessing. I don't know if he sided it out, but whatever it is, he went ahead and potted away the imaged blade splicer for Restoration Angel. Has all the golems.
Wow.
Now Eric now has 2 turns here.
This is turn 1 of 2 for Eric's extra turns. As in, he has 1 extra turn coming.
Right, because of a temporal mastery, and draws Tameo.
Wow.
Tameo can now lock down 2 golems. You know, 1 this turn, 1 next turn.
I don't even mind him doing something like Tameo lock down the angel in the air, attack for 4, and then do other stuff, and then in the next turn use Tameo to draw cards, to draw 3 cards.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I like that too. And he's still got, I believe, 2 copies of Think Twice in his hand, which represent more Drakes, instant speed Drakes. Not to mention the cards.
Magic players living about 5
Plays a Desolate Lighthouse.
Register for tonight's Legacy Challenge.
Plays
Tameo.
Legacy Challenge. This is your last chance to register. Come on up to the stage.
I like your plan. Lock down Angel, attack for 4 in the air. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yep.
At least he's got the lockdown Angel part going. Attack for 4 in the air. Love it. Love it. All right.
And then he can cast Think Twice, and then Think Twice both from hand, get 2 more Drakes. Think.
Yeah. So think twice. Think twice. Another Drake. He sided in Jace Memory Adept, which is interesting.
A little weird.
I saw him draw it off of the first Think Twice. So he untaps here.
It's 8 in the air.
Does he? Is it possible he may have drawn into another temporal mastery? How good would that be? He did not. He has a bonfire, but that is no good without a second red, right? I mean, it's not a miracle.
No, it's red X. X.
Oh, I'm thinking of it like entreat.
In for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is 1 damage short of killing Darcy. Though he actually, if he had just bonfired for 4, he would have actually killed Darcy with the Talrand as well.
Oh, wow, yeah. Missed that particular win. There's an Entreat the Angels. Get me a Drake. Entreat for 3. Play a land. There you go.
It's a rough one here for Darcy.
Yeah, now he could bonfire off the top, right? Bonfire, clear Eric's board, swing for the kill. How many bonfires does he have access to?
2 main.
Just 2. Appears he did not draw it off the top. I don't think. No. Plays a land. Still has access to, what is it, 5, 10, 11 mana, so he can still bonfire for 5 here, right? Still wipe the board and kill.
If he has it in his hand,
If
yeah.
he has it in his hand, that's what I mean, yeah. I imagine he doesn't. Not sure what the discussion's about here. Bird of Paradise.
Maybe we should turn this bird into a Talrand?
At this point, it's way too late. I don't think Eric cares that much if Darcy were to kill his Talrand at this point.
Angel turns into a conscript. Untaps Birthing Pod.
Pods away the bird. Goes for image.
Okay.
Image becomes conscripts, untaps birthing pod, pays for it again, sacrifices a 5, going to 6 here.
Sun Titan.
Does he have it? I haven't seen it.
There's a Sun Titan.
Okay. Sun Titan can get back
Okay.
a Blade Splicer.
Sun Titan get back the Phantasmal Image.
Copy Sun
Phantasmal
Titan.
Image can be a Phantasmal Image, is a Zealous Conscript, untap.
Wow, this is some shenanigans here. Unbelievable, yeah. So
Elish Norn.
there's an Elish Norn. That'll wipe the Drakes.
Drakes and Talrand all go away. And only 3 Angels to defend.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Now, what?
Now
Wow.
there are.
And we know Eric missed the win there,
Yeah, Eric missed the win last turn.
where he could have bonfired for 4 and then swung in with everything.
13. With 3 blockers, that is not enough to survive. If Darcy attacks with everything, Darcy
Well, what
has
can he
enough to
attack
kill.
with? Because he's got.
He can attack with the Blade Splicer, the Zealous Conscripts, and the 3 Golems.
Okay. Is it not? I thought it was 4 golems. Did one go away?
Let's pretend that it's.
It's 4.
Oh yeah. Jaja.
That's just. There's no way around it.
Wow. Mr. Darcy Huffman in with extreme prejudice.
Unbelievable.
Magic players, that is time in the round. Active player finish your turn and then proceed 5 additional turns. Once again, that is time in the round.
Holy moly!
And Eric had the kill.
He
had
did.
the kill.
I mean, it's weird. Like, I guess was he just trying to go for like the win more? I mean, next turn he kind of had the win
I
anyway.
think here's what it is. He had the tunnel vision on. He could only see him getting Darcy to 1 life. And he wasn't thinking about Talrand being an attacker. He was like, okay, Talrand can't attack. So if I attack with everybody else, then I bonfire, he's at 1.